All right. So looking at today, we got some more vocab words we're going to throw out there, and then talking about how to compute those fees and the different types of fees you're going to find. As far as vocab goes, for vocab, your test on Friday, you like the front page of your test will be like fill in the blank for vocab. So you'll have a word bank at the top of all the vocab that we've done, and then you have to fill in the blanks on the different definitions. Maybe, maybe not. I haven't decided yet. But I know I'm going to make it fill in the blank. Okay? So I'll give you the word bank, and so I mean you can obviously pick and choose from your word bank. Okay? Oh, also, IXL real quick. Noah had brought that up. IXL went down late last night, and the site is still down. So if you did not finish your IXL assignment, I'm going to go ahead and push that deadline back to Friday just because the website's down. So there's nothing you can do. Okay? So if you're not done, get out of jail free card. Make sure it's done by Friday. Okay. So how do you actually buy and sell stocks? All right. Can you buy them at a store? I can't run to Walmart, buy me some stock? Right? But yeah, no, you can't. All right. Can you sell them at school in the cafeteria? Like if you own them, can you sell them while you're here at school? Like I can physically walk down to the cafeteria and be like, hey, you want to buy my stock? And I can sell it to him? No, you can't. Okay. Ooh. Thank you. But you cannot. You yourself cannot actually sell your stocks. There it is. Can you walk into the stock exchange? Can you personally like go to New York, walk into the New York Stock Exchange? Could you walk in there and sell them? No, you can't. You cannot. Okay. Oh, it's not working. You must use a stockbroker. Okay. You have to go through a stockbroker in order to buy them, in order to sell them, and do anything with them. Okay. That way you don't get people like, hey, I'll just give you my stocks and just let them see. I'll sell them to you for $1 because I like you. No. Okay, it's got to go through a stockbroker. It has to actually go through the stock exchange. Because if you did it on the side with you and a friend, that doesn't affect then the stock exchange and the values of the different stocks that goes on. Okay. All right. So, we don't have enough of vocab yet in this chapter. Here's some more for you. What is a stockbroker? Yeah, that's the person who actually buys and sells the stocks for you. All right, they do it on your behalf. So stockbroker is who they buy and sell stocks. Okay, Noah, let's close your Chromebook for right now. Those of you who are still taking looks at your stocks, let's kind of go ahead and close those for a minute. We can come back to that at the end of class, all right? All right, every time you are buying or selling stocks, there is a broker fee. Of course, they got to make their money somehow. A broker fee is the fee that the stockbrokers charge for their services. It can either be a flat fee, just like what's on your the stock market challenge online that we're doing. It's a flat fee of $10, right? Every time you make a trade, buy something, sell something, it's $10. Or they can do it on commission. Do you guys know what commission is? Yeah, it is a percentage of it. So is there a time where it'd be beneficial to have a flat fee as compared to a commission or vice versa? Right, depending on, they still do. So even if you lose money when you sell, they still take a commission of it. So you could really end up in the negative. And we'll look at some today where that happens to people. Okay, so the commission, that's just a percentage of the value of the stock trade. So now, because Josh's question was about, what if you're losing money? Do they still take money from you as well? Yeah. Because if you bought it for $10,000, but you're selling it for $5,000, they're going to charge you their commission on the $5,000 that you're selling it for. Yeah. So yeah, they're going to get their money from you one way or the other. Okay. Right. So stockbroker, they charge their lovely broker fees. Could be a flat fee, could be a commission. All right, a discount broker. Right? Everybody likes a sale, right? Discount store. Discount broker, they charge lower fees, but they do not give investment advice. Right? They only make the transaction for you. So if you're somebody who's like, I don't really know a whole lot about stocks, I want somebody to advise me on what I should do, what I shouldn't do, then you'd want to go with a regular stockbroker. Okay, somebody that's smart and they know how to give you the right advice. But if you're somebody like my neighbor next door, he researches everything on his own, like he knows stocks in and out, whatever, he does all of that. He wouldn't need somebody to give him advice. In at least his world, he knows what he's doing. Well, I don't know how well he does or not, right? So in that case, you might use a discount broker. You have to charge less for fees, but they will not advise you whether you're doing something great or making a huge mistake. They will not tell you one way or the other. Okay? So sometimes you pay more to get advice. No? Well, I guess it depends how much you trust your stockbroker. Yeah, I don't know, but you're right. Maybe they'll want you to sell because that makes a huge profit for them. But obviously, they're not going to want you to sell if they're not going to make as much. But hopefully, they take your best interest to heart, not just their own. All right, so what does it mean if they say at the market? Okay, at the market, if you hear that wording, it's when you're instructing your broker to get the best available price they can. You would tell them, I want you to buy at the market. So buy at the best price you possibly can. Okay, so just some little lingo that they throw in there. Instructing your broker to get the best available price. If you give your stockbroker a limit order is a specified price that you want to pay. You might, and I think, was it Justin who sits back there? I think he was doing that. You can actually do that in the Stock Market Challenge. You can set that up. So you might put in there, when this stock hits $52, I want you to buy it for me. So then as that market fluctuates, if that price drops, it will automatically buy it for you as it hits that price. So that's something you could do. You can set that limit order. Okay? And then the net proceeds. This is what we're going to work with a lot today. Net proceeds, to me, and an easier way to think about it is, this is how much your actual profit is. All right? It represents the amount of money you make after the broker fees are subtracted. Now we're talking profit. So you got to think about it. I'm still invested, $10,000 in my stock. So when I sell it for $12,000, I didn't make $12,000. I made $2,000 minus the fees. Okay? So we're going to have to kind of look and see the different types of fees, whether it's a flat fee per transaction, if it's commission, how things are done. There's also different fees, whether you make your trade online or if you make your trade over the phone. Those also are different fees, depending on what company that you kind of do all of this with. All right, questions on vocab before we get into some of the practice of all of this? If you can add, subtract, and multiply, you should be okay today. That's right. So if you don't have your calculator, go ahead and grab your calculator, okay? We definitely need those today as we're kind of going through all of this. Okay. So here we go. No, we're out. Number one, Lee made 2 trades through his online discount broker, WeTrade. WeTrade charges a fee of $12 per trade. Lee's first purchase was for $3,456, and his second purchase later in the day was for $2,000. How much did he spend on the day's purchases, including broker fees? So we kind of need to kind of narrow this down, looking at what we got. And these problems will get a little harder as we kind of move on through all of this. But if we're looking at it, how much did he spend on his stocks? Good. $5,456. All right, that's how much he spent in his stocks, right? We had $2,000 on this trade, $3,456 on the other one. All right, so altogether he spent $5,456 buying stocks. Okay? All right, $12 per trade. So how much did he spend in fees? $24 because he made 2 trades, $12 per trade, $24 in fees. So how much did he spend altogether? Good. So we just need to add them together. He spent $5,480. Pretty basic, right? You paid stocks, you paid for stocks, fee, he totaled it up. Okay? All right, you know me though. We baby step, right? We'll start at the real easy ones and we'll kind of move into some harder ones. All right, why don't you guys go ahead and try the next one on your own. Garrett made 2 trades in one day with his discount broker that charges $7 per trade. First purchase was for $17.90, second purchase for $84.56. How much did he spend including broker fees? So on your own. All right, so he made 2 trades. I don't know about you guys, but when I read through these questions, I try to circle like the important stuff, right? That I know stuff I had to pull out of here. So 2 trades, we have $7 per trade as my fee. First purchase, $17.90. Second purchase, $84.56. So altogether, did you figure out how much you spent? Good. Because you have to add together how much he bought in stocks, and then 2 trades at $7 each. He spent $14 in fees. He what? I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. They charge you enough, right? All right. So questions on the basics, just figuring out how much we're spending. Okay. All right, so number 3, Adriana purchased $7,000 worth of stock from a broker at Tensor Brokerage. The current value of Adriana's portfolio is $11,567. What's a portfolio? Good. How much all of her stocks are worth? Cole is finally over the 10,000 mark on his stocks, yes? Where are you labeled? Number 12? You're ranked 12th? 12th place. Nice job. All right. So portfolio is how much all of your stocks, everything combined is worth. Okay. What broker fee must she pay? So because if you look at the table here, so there's different things. So the brokerage fee schedule, it's broken down whether her portfolio is less than $250,000 or greater than $250,000. So where does she fall? Less, right? She's going to fall in this row. Now, it's separated by if she did online trades, automated telephone trades, or she actually used the broker. According to the way this is worded, what did she do? Online, phone, or used a broker? She used a broker, right? Because that's from a broker. So she's falling here. So she's getting charged 0.5% commission plus the online fee. What's the online fee? $15 per trade. Well, she's getting charged extra, right? Because she actually used the broker. All right. So how much did she spend? How much money did she spend? $7,000? So $7,000 is what she spent. And we need to multiply that by what to figure out what the commission is? What is 0.5% as a decimal? 0.005. Guys, remember when it's giving you a percent, you're going to see a lot of these that are like decimal percentages. You have to divide it by 100. Okay, and make sure we're clear here. On this right here, we need to divide by 100 to change it to a decimal. Because right now it's a percent, right? Like you wouldn't, what's 50% as a decimal? 0.5. 50 divided by 100 is 0.5. Okay, so 0.5% as a decimal is 0.005. We have to divide it by 100. All right, so if we do that, and then, so she's going to get this charge, and then what else is she getting charged? And another $15. Because she also gets charged the online trade fee. So 7,000 times 0.005 plus the other $15 charge. What are her fees? $50. No, this is only if she used the automated telephone trades. It's 50 bucks. Kind of stinks, don't you think? So, are you guys getting a good deal at your $10 fee? Yeah, that's not so bad. All right, so questions on how this works? Okay. So number 4, Jared has a portfolio worth $500,000. Ooh, nice portfolio. He made 10 telephone trades during the past year, buying and selling $50,000 worth of stock. What was his total broker fee for the year? So just looking at his broker fee for the entire year. So go ahead, take a minute, see if you can figure out what this one would be. Everybody caught up? All right. So the fact that his portfolio is $500,000, that's going to put us in this column down here. That's why we needed to know that, because his portfolio is greater than $250,000. All right, he made 10 telephone trades. So is he getting charged a commission? No, because telephone trades is here. He has to pay the online fee, $12 per trade. That's what it says. His company, that's what they charge. I don't know. So they have to pay $9.50 every trade, plus a flat $12 per trade. So, I mean, his portfolio is worth 500 grand. I'm not feeling bad for this guy, right? So the fact that he sold $50,000 worth of stock, does that matter? No. If he was on commission, that would matter. But since it's not commission, that the value of it doesn't make a difference. So if he made 10 trades, that's $12 per trade, right? Every time he makes a trade, it's the $12 plus $9.50 for every one of those two. 10 times $9.50. And we'll have to add all that together. So he ended up paying $245 in fees. Because this is $120, and this is going to be $95. Oh, wait, what did I write down? Oh, you're right. I wrote down the wrong thing on my own paper. My bad. That's my bad. Sorry. That's right. I just wanted to use the fancy eraser. No, you guys are right. $215. There it is. Sorry, guys. On my own page, I even circled it on my paper, and I did the 15 here instead of the 12. That was my fault. No? I like it. I'm trying to finesse you. No, you're right, though. All right. I'll fix my own math on my own paper here. All right. Other questions on this problem? All right. Moving on then. Number 5. Erin purchased $23,510 worth of stock and paid her broker a 1% broker fee. She sold the stock when the stock price increased to $27,300 and used a discount broker who charged $21 per trade. Compute her net proceeds. So when you're seeing net proceeds, what I'm asking for is, what is her profit? Okay, how much money did she actually make after, you take out all the fees and everything else? Now, when you read this, I want you to be careful, because the first time I read it differently than the way it was intended. So when she purchased it, she used a broker that had a 1% fee. But when she sold it, she used a different broker who charged only $21 per trade. Do we see the difference there? It wasn't for both trades. I read that wrong the first time I saw it, so I want to make sure we're clear there. So she used 2 different brokers, one when she bought it, somebody else when she sold it. All right, so the way I like to organize this problem is I want to look at how much money did she spend, so money spent, and how much money did she earn. And then we can try to figure out then what her actual profit is. Okay? So how much money did she spend to buy the stocks? Good. So she spent $23,510 to buy the stock. Okay? When she bought the stock, how much of a fee did she have to pay? She had to pay 1%. So we'd have to figure out then 23,510 times, what is 1% as a decimal? 0.01. Right? So if we figure out how much she spent or on her fee, what was her fee for this then? $235.10. That was her fee. All right, and then when she sold it, how much did it charge her to sell it? $21. Just a flat $21. Okay, so how much money did she actually earn? When she sold it, how much did she sell it for? This is not a trick question. Don't do any math. How much did she sell it for? $27,300. Now, that is not, she did not make $27,300. That's not her profit, because she spent all of this in order to sell it for that. So we need to figure out how much did she spend altogether. So we need to add the price she spent for the stock, the fee that she had when she bought it, and the fee for when she sold it. Okay, we need to look at how much did she actually spend through all of this. She spent, if you add all that together, $23,766.10. Right? That is how much she spent. I just added all of that together. So when I want to figure out what is her net proceeds, what is her actual profit, what do I have to figure out then? You subtract them. Take this number, and we're going to subtract off how much she spent, fees and all, to figure out her actual profit. So her actual profit is $3,533.90. My paper touched it. Since it's camera oriented, it thought I was touching it. Yeah, sorry. It might be it move stuff probably. All right. So did she make a pretty decent profit even after all the fees? Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, we don't know how long. I mean, if that's all she made after like 50 years of it, it's probably not that great of a profit. If it was like maybe 6 months later, that'd be a really good profit in 6 months. Okay? All right, take a look at number 6. Yolanda. Love the name. Yolanda purchased stock for $7,000 and paid a 1.5% broker fee. She sold it for $6,325 and paid a 0.5% broker fee. Compute her net proceeds. Take a look before you do any math. How did Yolanda do? She lost money. She purchased it for $7,000, sold it for $6,300, and fees. She lost even more than that because she still has to pay the fees. Okay, so we're going to set it up the same way. I'm going to look at money spent, money earned, and then we'll look and see kind of where we're at. So initially she spent how much money? $7,000 on her stock. She was charged a fee, right? She was charged 1.5%. What is 1.5% as a decimal? 0.015. So we need to figure out, calculate what her actual fee was. How much of a fee did she have? First 105. Okay, so that's my fee. All right, and then she sold it So that's money she made, right? $6,325. You're like, sweet, $6,000 you made, right? Yeah, she didn't make $6,000. All right, but they charged a fee on that too. So I had to figure out my fee, $6,325. They charged a 0.5%. So that would be 0.005. So what was her fee on the second one when she sold it? $31.63. It's her second fee. Oh, this poor woman. So altogether, what is all the money that she has paid out of pocket? We need to add up $7,105. $7,136.63. That's how much she spent, and then she sold it for $6,325. So to figure out her net proceeds, let's go ahead and subtract them. So we will subtract off the $7,136.63 for a whopping net profit of negative $811.63. Whew! Yolanda is not doing so well. Does that look like some of your guys' stocks right now in the stock market? All right, so do you always have a positive profit on the end of this? No, you don't. And it's not only just the difference that you've paid in the prices for your stock, but you got fees that you have to pay. Even when you take a loss, you still pay your fees. So that stinks. All right. Let's have you guys try number 7 on your own. All right, so Darlene purchases $20,000 worth of stock on her brother's advice, see if her brother was smart or not, and pays her broker a 1.5% broker fee. She sells her stock when it increases to $28,600 2 years later, uses a discount broker who charges only $21 per trade. Compute Darlene's net proceeds after the broker fees are taken out. Okay, so same idea as the last two we've looked at. So we need to look at how much money did she spend and how much money did she earn. Okay, so she spent $20,000, right, on the initial purchase, but they also charged her a fee, which was $20,000. Oh my goodness. Delete. All right, there we go. So 20,000, 1.5%. What is that as a decimal? 0.015. So that's going to give her what for a fee? $300 fee. Ooh, that's a steep fee. But when she sold it for $28,600, right? She sold it for that. She's a discount broker. They only charged her just a flat $21 per trade. So that's other money, though, that she had to spend, another $21 fee. All right, so altogether, how much money did she spend in the buying the stock and both fees? $20,321. But she sold it to make $28,600. So how do you figure out what her profit was? Good. Take how much she sold it for, subtract off the original price and all those fees. So she has a profit of $8,279. So she made a pretty decent profit. My only question about all of this is if she used her brother's advice, why wouldn't you use a discount broker to purchase it? You know what I'm saying, though? So, because she used a regular broker, she ended up paying a $300 fee. I mean, if she used her brother's advice, shouldn't she have used a discount broker who only would charge her $21?
Is this person actually real?
I'm sure somewhere it is. I just want you to kind of think about these things, though. If you're going to buy, if you know what you're going to buy and you're confident, go with a discount broker. You're going to pay less in your fees. And then, in which case, her brother's mean if her brother's actually charging her all that. But you're right, it could be. Could be. All right, guys, last two problems are the ones that do get a little trickier, right? This one's not terrible, but then the next one is definitely a lot harder. All right, so 2 to go. Fierro Brothers, a discount broker, charges their customers a $19 flat fee per trade. The Sando Investment House charges a 2% commission. For what amount of stock would both brokers charge the same commission? So I want to know when it's going to be the same, right? Because sometimes we talked a little bit, it might be cheaper to do commission if I'm not spending as much, right? Or it might be better for me to do a flat fee if I'm going to buy a whole lot and spend a lot of money. So at what point of when I'm buying my stock would it be the same? So if I'm paying $19 one place, I want to know when is the other one going to be $19. I appreciate the excitement, Noah. I really do. But you're like, I divided it by 2, or 10, 100, and then I multiplied it by 100, and you went right back to where you started. Josh, what do you think? I don't know. Can you? So figure it out. Is 950 times 0.02 is it $19? Okay, so there's one option. I'll be honest with you, my brain would have never went there.
Well, see, I still don't.
Never would have went there. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to show you the way that I would attack this problem, keeping in mind algebra is like my forte, right? Like, that's me. My brain automatically goes algebraic. So if you have different ways, some of you may be guess and check. I can see some of you doing that, right? I'm just going to figure out when it's going to be $19, all right? If that works for you, that works for you. I don't care. This type of class, I don't care what method you use other than no cheating, but I don't care. All right, but on this one, for me, I knew I'm looking at when this 2% commission, I wanted to know when it was $19, right? That would make them the same. So 2% is 0.02, right? You would multiply that by some value, whatever my stock is, to figure out when does that equal $19. Again, I'm an algebra-based person. My brain automatically reverts back to algebra. I would divide by 0.02. And if you, I mean, some of you might be more algebra-based people. It's exactly the way that I attacked it. Could you do guess and check, play around with the numbers? Could you use the method Josh used? Absolutely. I don't care. Whatever works for you. So, Josh, you were correct, though. It is $950. And if that makes sense to you, by all means, have at it. Don't bother me at all. No? I divided by 0.02. Because I started out with just this. 0.02x equals 19. Because I would multiply my commission, right? This is the 2% times how much I spent. I want to know when does that equal $19. So I set up an equation. That's the way my brain interpreted it. Again, I'm algebra-based. Okay? But again, this might be something, if you're looking at this going, wait, what? And you're like, I hate algebra. What are we doing? Highlight this one in your notes. Write it down. That way you have something you can refer back to help you out when you see a problem like this on homework tonight. Okay? All right, last problem. I'm going to throw more algebra at you, and I apologize now. Sal bought X shares of a stock that sold for $23.50 per share. He paid a 1% commission on the sale. The total cost of his investment, including the broker fee, was $3,560.25. How many shares did he purchase? Says algebra all over it, doesn't it? Jessica. That is correct. How did you get 150? That is- No, that absolutely works. Right? No, and again, she pretty much did exactly what I have in my paper. Mine just looks more algebraic. Okay? I'll talk you through what I did. What she did is absolutely fine. If you have a different method, again, I'm totally fine. If you're a guess and checker, have at it. Okay? All right, so Sal bought X shares of stock for $23.50 per share. So how would you figure out how much she spent for all of her shares? Noah?
I have a question. We do X over 3, like we do X.
And you're trying to set up a ratio. It doesn't work with a ratio. Yeah.
I just found the answer was multiplied. Well, I added comma 23.5 and the 1% of that value in parentheses outside of it. I just guess and checked on what X value was until I got the total of this, and then
Did a little guess and check in there too. Did you get 150? Awesome. That works for me. I don't care. Whatever method works for you. I will show you the way I did it. I will show you mine. But again, I'm algebraic. Okay? So, but thinking back, if I told you I bought 100 shares at $23.50, how much did I spend? What would you do? You'd multiply them. So same idea. I'm going to multiply the $23.50 times the number of shares, which is X. Right? You would just multiply how many shares by the cost to figure out how much that is. Okay? But, so this is how much I spent on my stock. Right? This is money spent buying stock. I don't know how many shares, but I know I spent $23.50 for every one of them. Okay? But they're going to add on to that my fee, right? If my fee is 1%, what did you always multiply that by? If you come back to a previous problem that we did, you took the amount that you spent, right? And you multiplied it by whatever that fee was. Okay, so keeping that in mind, the money I spent, I'm going to multiply by the commission. I spent $23.50x, and then you would multiply that by your commission, which would be 0.01. This is your fee. Money spent times my commission. It helps to kind of label so you're like, you don't just have random X's on your page, right? Money spent is how much per share times the number of shares. Gives me how much I totally spent on buying the stock. Plus they charge a fee. We always multiplied how much I spent times whatever that percent was to figure out how much my fee is. And then they told me altogether this should equal $3,560.25. I can't get the fee because I still have an X in there. I can, but I can't just subtract that because there's still an X in it. But that's exactly what I would do next. What's 2350x times 0.01? Did anybody figure that out? That was a lovely yell. So let's go ahead and just multiply that. Right, so 23.5 times 0.01. So my fee is 0.235. That's a lovely fee. X. So they're charging me roughly like 24 cents per share. That's what they're charging me. Right? Equals 3, 5, 6. All right, so all I've done so far at this point is I just kind of cleaned it up, right? I just took this part, figured out what my fee was. Now, do you see algebraically, do you see like terms? Okay, just going to put my like terms together. So we get 23.735 x equals my total. And then we have to divide. And we get x equals 150 shares. Again, guys, I'm algebraic. That is my go-to. That does not mean it has to be yours. Okay? If you're a guess and check person, have at it. Guess and check. Some people are really good at guess and check. Me, I think if I tried to guess and check, I'd be at it all day long. Take me forever. That's just not the way my brain is programmed. But some of you are, and that's fine. You know, Jessica did it a different way. Robert did it a different way back there. Whatever works for you is fine by me. Are we good? Anybody panicked? Noah?
So I get the rest of it. So all 50 is times percent for the number. But it's number
Mm-hmm.
times it.
By the commission? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A little bit better now.
Good. Some algebraic stuff going on in there. Okay. Again, if you're not an algebra person, don't panic. If you have another method, I'm cool with that. All right. This is not an algebra class. This is not a geometry class. All right. Homework for tonight. I made copies of the worksheet for you guys, and then as I looked over, I'm like, oh, I don't like a lot of these problems. So I didn't cross them off, in other words, before I made copies, so you'll need to cross them off. You're welcome. You don't have to do all of them. So there's a huge list of ones I want you to skip. So when you get your homework, look up there and cross off all of those numbers for me. You don't have to do those ones. When's your test in here? Friday. When will IXL now be due? Friday. Tomorrow in class, I will give you guys a review over everything in the chapter. So I will give you time to work tomorrow. So make sure you bring all of your notes with you, bring all of your stuff. Towards the end of class tomorrow, I'll probably go ahead and go over all of the answers for the review, help you guys out if we can. If we need more time Friday at the beginning of class, I can continue to go over anything you might need, and then we'll take the test on Friday. Okay, Noah? Or Cole? I just called you Noah. Sorry, I looked at Noah. All right. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so skip numbers 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 11, 13, and 16. Cross them off. You're welcome. That's not so bad, right? You're like, there's not much left.